You have infinite potential. I don't care how desperate things look, but you can change the game. We got to be strong enough to say, I'm going to follow my dream. I have a dream. I have an image in my mind. I have a good, beautiful picture that I want to execute in my life. We not only have this physical image that reflects back from the mirror, we have an inner image of ourselves. It's how we see ourselves. Right. Now that inner image is an idea. And that idea is generally planted in our little life when we're infants. And it's planted by virtue of the environment that we're surrounded by, how we're raised. If a child's raised with praise, they're going to grow up very confident individuals. If a child's raised with criticism, they're going to grow up very insecure. So you see this image that we have, it's a picture of how we see ourselves, but most of us, that image was planted by people that didn't know what the hell was going on. They didn't know the war was over, and they were developing a little mind. It was a mind. They were shaping it like fresh clay. They didn't understand that. It was a kid they're looking after, and we feed him, we keep him warm, what the hell? You know, that's our responsibility. No, it was a mind, and they were developing that mind. And if they didn't understand, what were they going to put in? Well, all they could give to the child is the insecurities that they had themselves. So that was the picture that the kid grows up of themselves. Now, I grew up very insecure. I was born during the Depression. When I first went to school, the Second World War had just broken out, so everybody's rationed for everything. It was hard times. All the men were away fighting in Europe or South Pacific. There was no men doing anything. The women that were there were driving the trucks. They were cops. They did everything. So There wasn't a whole lot of time used for developing a little mind. So I just grew up and picked up what I could. I grew up very insecure. It wasn't until I met a man that gave me this book and gave me some damn good instruction that I started to pay attention to who I was. And I have never stopped being fascinated with studying me. I am the most fascinating subject that I've ever come across. And I have found out that you and I are exactly the same. We only appear to be different. Our physical body looks different. We choose different vocations. Some earns more or less than the other. But our potential is exactly the same. We both live in a physical body. We both have these higher mental faculties. We're both spiritual beings. We both draw on an infinite source of supply. We're the same. So the trick, I think, for the person that has insecurities, that hasn't got the strongest image they want, they should find a damn good mentor. That's what changed my life. So as we start to gather this information about ourselves, our image starts to change. And I started to see, I'm not this skinny kid that doesn't know what the hell's happening, that did poorly in school. I have a marvelous mind. I can think. If I can imagine it, I can hold it in my hand. I can do anything that I want. I am absolutely fascinated with studying who I am. You see, there is no end to the growth. You always want to grow. So that you have infinite potential. There is no top. There's no beginning, no end. When it comes to personal development, there is no finish line. So how can you tell how well you're doing? By the results you're getting. By their fruit. By their fruit, you'll know them. By the results they're getting. If they're not getting the results, they don't know. So if you're going to get a mentor, get somebody that's getting the results. If you set a goal and you know how to do it, the goal probably isn't any good. So the trick, pick a goal that you really want, but you have no idea how to do it. Now there's got to be a big learning curve there, and I'm still learning. He said if you come to a point where you can't learn anything from somebody, you go inside. He says go to the Fonset Arrigo, go to the fountain and source, go inside. See, the purpose of a goal is not to get, it's not to reach the goal, it's the awareness that you develop as you go after it. You're learning who you are. It's becoming aware of who you are. If I want to be free, I've got to be me. Not the me I think you think I should be. Not the me I think my kids think I should be. Not the me I think my wife thinks I should be. If I want to be free, I've got to be me. He said, I better know who me is. Don't let what's going on program you. You can't deny it. It's there. But absolutely refuse to let it control you. Understand you can be thinking of how to win, how to get it done, how to go and do better. And you may have to adapt, you may have to change the game, but you can change the game. We are probably going to change the way we operate forever over the next few months. But we're prepared to do that. See, the repetition of all good material is very important. It's extremely important. Repetition is how you fix the ideas or the information in your subconscious mind. It's the ideas that are fixed in the subconscious mind that control our behavior. That's the paradigm. You don't think and then do. When you get up in the morning, you automatically move into action. Your program, it's your paradigm in your subconscious mind. What people hear when they tune into this, they're going to hear great ideas, most of which they probably don't do. If they would hear one and say, that is one hell of a good idea, I am going to do that. They should write it down and then write it out as an affirmation. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am doing it every day. Write it out every day until you see yourself automatically doing it. See, they're not going to do everything they hear on here. But if every day they listen, they get one idea and say, I can turn that into a habitual part of my personality, they're going to end up really a big winner. That's where greatness comes from. There's no sin in not knowing how to do something. The sin is in keep doing it wrong. Don't follow people's advice. I think the trick is to go to people that have demonstrated by results they really know what they're doing. Then do exactly what they tell you. What people need to realize is that there is a simple way out of their dilemma. They don't have to look at a black wall. That there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a train coming at them. They've got to get the idea that there is a better way, because you're not hearing it every day, and you're not hearing it at all on television anymore, and you're not getting it in the newspaper. But this good news is out there, and there is a better way. I don't care how desperate things look, it can get better. Nothing is good or bad except our thinking makes it so. Everything just is. We make it good or bad through our thinking. I don't care what it is. We make it good or bad through our thinking. And when anything happens, there's a three-step approach to it. Number one, I don't care what happens to you. It is what it is, accept it. It's either going to control you or you're going to control it. Number two, harvest the good. There's good in everything. And number three, forgive all the rest. It is what it is, accept it. It's going to control you or you'll control it. Harvest the good and forgive all the rest. And I think that's what we got to start doing.